Hey everybody, it's Specs, and today we're going to be talking about my Week 5 matchup against the Abercrombie in the Woods, the Draft League Season 11. So, just going to do a quick overview of his team, assess any threats he can have, and then talk about my team, what I did prep, and then we're gonna talk about the replay. So let's get started. First up, we got the Jirachi. Pretty threatening, honestly. You can always do like a defensive set, like Wish Protect with like U-turn and some other filler move like Iron Head or whatever. But this thing has a pretty expansive move pool, and it can be very threatening in the right situations. Its special move pool is nothing to really scoff at. It gets stuff like Thunder for something like my Empoleon, which is realistically one of my only real switch-ins to this thing. I guess Entei also works as a switch-in as well, but it also doesn't want to be taking thunders as well, speaking of. Besides that, also get stuff like Moonblast, if you want to hit my Zygarde super effectively and stuff like that. Even just Scarf Iron Head is really scary against my team. Because, I have like 3 fairy types, so, Steel is going to work pretty well against me as an attacking move. So, even like just a Scarf Jirachi with Iron Head can really put in a lot of work against my team, as long as you get pretty lucky with the flinches. So yeah, Jirachi can almost definitely going to be broad, and it's definitely going to have like a lot of unpredictability going about it. I can't really tell exactly what set it's going to be until I find out, really, because he can run a good amount of sets to pretty varying degrees of success. So yeah, very scary. Next up, we have the Komodo. Thing is also pretty scary as well. I want to say it's pretty good against my team. Again, I did say before I have 3 fairy types, but Komodo can get past all 3 of those with coverage moves. It has something like Poison Jab to really hit something like Tapu Bulu, which resists both of its stabs, and even for Mega Ball Wild or something like that, like a stab close combat. The stab close combat is still going to be doing quite a bit of damage, so I can't really play around with this thing too well. Besides that, you can also just run a defensive set, which it can work against my team, but I didn't expect him to really run it. It gives him another like resist to Tapu Bulu, which is not too bad. Besides that, though, I was expecting more offensive this week from him. He has run like defensive in the past, obviously, but I was expecting more of an offensive set because the defensive one can't really do too much against my team. I have a Zygarde, and I'm obviously going to bring Dragon Stab if I see something like Komodo, so Komodo's not going to be doing too well against that thing. Tapu Bulu can switch into the defensive set really, really easily. Unless you're just running Poison Jab as a defensive set, which is like, I guess you can do that, but it's not going to be doing too much. And then like Mega Mawile can do pretty scary stuff to the defensive set as well. Of course you can run Flamethrower or whatever, but Mawile is you don't want to give a free turn to that. One thing it could have done pretty well for his team is just set up rocks, and also Jirachi could also set up rocks pretty well as well. I kind of just expected like more of an offensive set from him anyways. Next up we got Tapu Fini. Again, pretty unpredictable in this matchup because his Fini can do quite a bit of things, and it could do them really well. Just like a defensive set with not a defensive set. Well, yeah, a defensive set. Well, the set of defensive sets. So the Calm Mind, Scald, Draining Kiss, Taunt set, that works quite well against my team. Of course, Bulu is a pretty decent counter, but if you get a nice Skull Burn or whatever, like this can be really rough for me to deal with. Aside from that, of course, you can try to run maybe like a trapping set with Whirlpool. This can potentially bait in something like my Slowking and then just kill it immediately, which is really good. Probably run like something like this, Nature's Madness, Taunts, and like that's about it. You just throw on Skull, throw on Moonblast, throw on whatever as the last slot. And then also even Scarf could be pretty scary against me. Just having like that offensively invested Ice Beam for my Zygarde can be pretty crucial. And then Moonblast is also going to be doing a lot as well. And then like you can use Trick as well as the Scarf to trick something like my Empoleon. So if you trick my Empoleon with the Scarf, it's going to be a lot less useful. Lot less useful. So Scarf would also work really well. I didn't really expect Defog coming from this thing. I expected Defog coming from Rotom, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, If you wanted to run defog, you could. Even on the Scarf set, that could work pretty well. But like, I really wasn't expecting this to defog because I figured it wanted to just Misty terrain pretty well. So yeah. Next up we have Weavile. Okay, this thing, absolutely the biggest threat on his team to me. My Dark and Ice resists are very low. I have one thing that can resist both stabs, which is Mega Mawile, and I was doing some calcs. Banded Triple Axle has like potential to 2-hit KO Mawile, so like this thing is super threatening. I figured both Choice Band and like Heavy Duty Boots Sword Stance both could work pretty well for him. But yeah, all he really needs: Triple Axle, Knockoff, Ice Shard, and then the last move can be Filler. But yeah, this on its own is just super threatening to my team. Like I can't really, it's really hard for me to deal with. Because if I want to go to like something like Mawile, I'm losing a lot of health in trying to deal with it, and then like if I get too careless and he gets Weavile in too many times, then I just lose the game immediately. So yeah, not something I would want to deal with. So yeah, this is definitely being brought as Bandit or Sword Dance. It doesn't really, either one works really well against me. So next up we have Rotom Heat. So basically for this one, I also expected this to be brought like 100,000% because this thing is really scary. Because like, my main switch in is Zygarde, right? Because it resists both electric and fire and it takes it pretty well. But like, if I switch in on a Will-O-Wisp, my Zygarde is crippled. I can't do anything with that thing anymore. Or like take a Toxic. Like Zygarde's biggest fear is status. Like if you get status with that thing, like your usefulness as a Zygarde is just super cut down. So like getting Wisp as Zygarde is so bad, which means I can't really switch in Zygarde on this thing at all. And so in terms of other backup switch-ins, like I have maybe like something like Slowking, which yeah, it does work pretty well. But now Rotom can get free momentum, can Volt Switch out and then bring out Weavile, and then suddenly, what's my switch into a Weavile? So I think Weavile plus Rotom Heat is a really good combination that he was going to bring, because that gives him a lot of offensive pressure that my team can't really deal with super well. So yeah, so I figured this thing would be brought. Either Volt Switch or Toxic. I figured Wisp was probably better overall than Toxic, and then Heat and I don't know, Pain Split. Again, I said before, Defog is also a pretty good option here, and then probably just Boots as the last one. So yeah, I figured this thing was 100% going to be brought. So yeah, next up we got Pidgeot. Pidgeot's pretty good. My flying resists aren't super good, so I have like Empoleon, and that's about it. Empoleon is pretty decent at handling this thing, but it can't really beat it 1v1 just because Scald doesn't do much to Pidgeot, and if this thing has Roost, I lose the 1v1 for sure. So yeah, I guess AV Slowking could also deal with it pretty well, but I didn't bring AV Slowking spoilers. So yeah, yeah, Slowking can just like take a couple Hurricanes and whatnot, but like theoretically speaking, you probably do lose that 1v1 unless you have Future Sight plus a stab move to deal with the Pidgeot. So yeah, yeah, Pidgeot's pretty scary overall. Yeah. Next up we got Ditto. Ditto can just be good in any general sense of the word. So just yeah, you can bring it, you cannot. I don't know. Overall, it's just a good Pokemon. Yeah, I don't think Ditto was super great against me, so I wasn't entirely expecting it to be broad, but like he could have like potentially swapped into my Zygarde and like taken all my boosts and then try to reverse sweep me, but I did have some precautions in order to not let that happen. So yeah, and the rest of my Mons didn't have any setup either. So I again didn't think Ditto was going to be super good in this matchup, and he ended up not bringing it. So yeah, I was somewhat correct in that. Rhyperior. Didn't figure he would bring it, but if he did, it's still kind of threatening to my team. My grass and water types, like obviously they would love to see Rhyperior come in because they can just murder that thing really quickly. But rock ground edgequake coverage is pretty good against my team, and then the one thing that it doesn't resist rock, but Bulu can switch in kind of okay on Rhyperior, and then it doesn't want to take like a but he doesn't want to take a heat crash. So I think Rhyperior could have been pretty good offensively. If you ran like a choice band, if you're good with predictions, you really could have done a number on my team. And then last up is Rhyperior, not Rhyperior, Vileplume. This thing, pretty much the only thing it could do really is try to wall my Bulu, and that's about it. Aside from that, really not much could be done. It's okay against Small as well, but it can't really hurt it all that much. So the problem with I mean, like, you can use Strength Step, but if my Wawa has Swords Dance, like, you're gonna you're gonna regret going for that Strength Step. So yeah, figured he didn't have to bring this, but if he was pretty scared against Bulu, which I don't know why you would be, considering you have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon that can deal with it pretty well. You know, I didn't think he would bring Vileplume, but if he did, you know, you guess he's just scared about Bulu. That's about it. So yeah, moving on from that. Next up, we got my team. So I decided to run a couple fun things. First up is a Weakness Policy, Dragon Dance, Zygarde. So I had one idea with this thing and one idea only. So basically, here's the idea. Somehow get this thing in on full health. You know, get it in, like, I don't know, like, if this Jirachi has Wish or whatever, you know, get it in on that and, like, get a Dragon Dance up on that. And then, you know, hopefully he goes to, like, Feeny or Weavile, right? So if I get the Dragon Dance, Weavile has to click Ice Shard because I'm faster. And then basically the idea was I have enough HP to live like a Jolly Banded Ice Shard. And then I'll proc the Weakness Policy. I Dragon Dance up on it again. And so I get +4 attack, +2 speed, +2 special attack. You know, +2 special attack doesn't matter. But the +4 attack and +2 speed. And then I can E-speed the Weavile to kill it. And then hopefully dent the rest of his team pretty well. If he goes to something like Feeny, hopefully he goes for something like Boom Blast. And, you know, again, procs my Weakness Policy. Same scenario applies. So, yeah. I figured, like, if I can get that to happen, I would pretty much win the game immediately. Not immediately per se, because apparently +4,000 arrows still doesn't kill everything on his team. But, like, you know, everything on his, I get a massive dent into his team, which hopefully, like, something else my Mawile and my Bulu can take advantage of, or my Torn to clean up at the end. So that was kind of the main goal of this thing. Yeah. The speed EVs are enough to outspeed Weavile after one Dragon Dance. So yeah. Next up we got Mawile. Basically just went with you know, a Swords Dance set. Play Rough plus Knockoff did pretty well against his entire team, and then Sucker Punch is obviously for the priority. I have some bulk here and there, and then some speed. I think the speed was for Rhyperior or something along those lines. Maybe a Vileplume as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, basically I wanted to outspeed one of those things. I don't remember now. I'm pretty sure it was Rhyperior. But yeah, so and then there's that, and then yeah, the rest of the EVs are just meant to, like, live certain hits. I know I don't get 3-hit KO'd by Weavile with this spread, at least the HP and defense wise. Not sure about the Spadef. I think I just put the rest into Spadef because I wanted to. Yeah. Next up we got Slowking. I just decided to run a Colbur Berry because Weavile is a goddamn threat. And yeah, this thing was not very specially bulky this time. I just decided to run a lot of defense. And I put a little bit into Spadef, but yeah, this, again, I don't remember exactly what the spread was for, but yeah, I can tank a Choice Band Weavile knockoff and then, like, try to Flamethrower it and get some good damage on it. Doesn't kill, unfortunately. If I wanted to do that, I would have to go for Focus Blast, but I hate Focus Blast. So yeah, I didn't do that. But yeah, Psychic, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, Slug Off, pretty standard. Psychic's for something like Mo, and then, like, Sludge Bomb is for, you know, Tapu Fini. Next up we got Bulu. That's just Choice Band Bulu with Woodhammer, Horn Leech. Woodhammer's for the power, Horn Leech is for the recovery. Zen Headbutt for stuff like Vileplume and Komodo. And then Close Combat for general coverage against the rest of his team. So against something like, you know, it hits neutrally against something like Mega Pidgeot or a Jirachi or whatever. So, and also, obviously, murders Weavile, although obviously Woodhammer and Horn Leech will also do the same thing. So, yeah. The speed, I think it was, like, enough to outspeed min speed Jirachi, and then a little bit more. So yeah, it's a little bit of speed creep, basically. Yeah, and then next we got Empoleon, just random max HP, max defense spread. Stealth Rock, Scald, Roar, and Knockoff. They're not everything here is not specifically for something. You know, I just thought, you know, I have Stealth Rock because I want rocks up. Scald for maybe getting burnt and just good general damage. Knockoffs for getting rid of items, and Roar is for, you know, phasing out sweepers. Figured this would be good if I had to phase out something like Komodo or like a setup Tapu Fini, stuff like that. Although Tapu Fini should have had Taunt if it was set up, so you know, wouldn't have worked too well there. If it was set up Tapu Fini, I would just have to go to Bulo and hope he doesn't scald me on the switch or whatever. And last up is Tornadus. Have a little bit of bulk here, and then the speed. Actually, I have no idea what the speed is for. I think it was enough to outspeed Fini? Wait. Yeah, probably Fini, if I had to guess. And then just max special attack, you know, Hurricane, knockoff, U-turn, Heat Wave. Pretty standard, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the replay. Here we go. Okay, so let me switch the sides. So, looking at this, I am super happy not to see Rotom at, like, a lot. Like, I really would have hated to see that thing. So, I'm glad it's not here. I do see a Vileplume in its place, kind of, and then the rest I kind of expected to see. So, yeah, Vileplume, yeah. He has Vileplume. I didn't really expect him to bring it, but, like, you know, if he wants to have the extra insurance against Blue, that's fine. You know, I'll just have to go for Zen Headbutt before I can start clicking Wood Hammer. I'll, you know, like, just spam Wood Hammer and whatnot. So, yeah. In terms of lead here, I was like, you know, Mawile could be a decent lead. Nothing can really one-shot this thing, and then I can get off some damage if I wanted to. So, yeah, there's that. Slowking also could have worked, but I didn't want to let, you know, Weavile, like, just immediately get a kill. To be fair, I had Colbert, so I could have gone Flamethrower and gotten a lot of damage, which would have been really nice, but, yeah, you know, still not a good idea to let Weavile just come in turn 1, which is basically why I went Mawile first. And, goddammit, the music's on. Okay, hold on. Okay, I got the music on. Alright, so yeah, Pidgeot comes in here, and then the Mawile comes in. So, here's mistake number 1 I made. Basically, I was like, in the damage calc, and I was like, okay, well, let me see how much Heat Wave does to Mawile, you know. Probably gonna do a lot, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm kind of worried, but, you know, we'll see what happens. And then I looked at the calc, and was like, oh, Pidgeot Heat Wave does, like, 50%. Wow, that's pretty good. I can't believe Mawile tanks that really well. You know, I'll just, you know, go for knockoff, because, I mean, I can probably kill this thing with knockoff to Sucker Punch, so it's gonna be really nice. I was calculating against regular Pidgeot. So, yeah, of course, regular Pidgeot would do 50% with Heat Wave. Mega Pidgeot is gonna do a lot more, as it turns out. About 86%. So, yeah, that was called a bad turn in Pokemon. And, yeah, not a good time. So, I was panicking because of that, and then I was like, okay, I gotta go for Sucker Punch now. Of course, he has Roost, so, you know, I basically just lost all my Mawile's health for, I don't know, no reason. So, yeah, that was a pretty bad throw. You know, Mawile's now, like, close to dead, and, I got nothing out of it. So, pretty bad. I'm just go to Empoleon here. Hurricane's doing quite a bit, 30%. Honestly, if he wanted to, he could have stayed in and kept fighting, but he just decides to go for U-turn. It goes into Defini as I go for my rocks. You know, all's good. We go to Slowking here on the Defog. So he was, in fact, Defog Fini because, well, he didn't brick Rotom, so obviously. Goes for the knockoff, gets my Colbert, and I just go for the Sludge Bomb. Not doing too much. I didn't get a poison, but, you know, it's whatever. Jirachi comes in, and I predict that, go for Flamethrower. And turns out I didn't really want to know that I predicted it because, you know, Flamethrower just like 28%. So, I mean, I know from this, though, that this Jirachi is, like, very specially defensive. So, like, something like, my Empoleon, or like a lot of things can just comment on this pretty freely. I was thinking about going to Zygarde initially, but like I didn't want to risk him having just having like a strong move or something, so I just wanted to go to Empoleon first to scout. He can just go for the Wished here, and then I just go for the knockoff, because, you know, he's probably going to go Fini and try to like defog my predicted rocks again. So yeah, I get the knockoff, get rid of the leftovers. He does get the Wish back up to full, but that's fine, I don't really care too much. So yeah, Slowking comes back in here on the Nature's Madness, not doing too much. Well, I mean, it does half health. I just go for the Flamethrower again, getting some more chip on the Jirachi, and now I go back, now I go into Zygarde. I'm just like, okay, it's now or never. So he goes for the Wish, he goes for the Protect. I don't know about that one. So he does, you know, he gets Protect, whatever. Feel like he should have made some more aggressive plays, because like, this thing's about putting him to hurt. Anyway, I go into I click Thousand Arrows on the Feeny coming in, and then I go for another Dragon Dance. I'm hoping to God he's clicking Moonblast or something so he can proc my Weakness Policy. Unfortunately, he's too smart for that. Goes for the Nature's Madness. I do get the kill though with the +2 Thousand Arrows. Weavile comes in here. Unfortunately, I know I cannot kill this thing in one hit with E-Speed, so I will have to switch out. I just decided to go into Empoleon here. I tried not doing much, but based on that damage, I know this thing is Adamant Choice Band. So yeah, pretty scary. I just go for the knockoff here as the Komodo comes in. I figured he was going to try to set up since it's a Life Orb Komodo, so I was like, I'm just going to go for the Roar. He does in fact reveal Dragon Dance, and this thing comes back in. And now I'm just like, okay, let me get a burn. Because if I get a burn on this thing, I can like potentially just win the game right now. Unfortunately, no burn, and I was like, I might as well get up rocks. I know this is Choice Band. The rocks are going to help a lot against stuff like Pidgeot and this thing. So, yeah, I want to get up rocks. So, yeah, I just sack my Empoleon to that. Retrospect, I mean, yeah, there really wasn't really a switch-in, so I might have wanted to go for another burn, but I did think rocks overall were pretty good. I still think rocks were the best play there, honestly, because I got more damage out of that than another Scald would have. But another Scald could have potentially... Oh no, wait. Was I in Torrent? Yeah, I should have scalded. No, wait. No, I should have scalded. Because he put me in Torrent at this point. So if I scalded, that would have done a lot of damage. And that would 100% put him in E-Speed range. God damn it. Okay, well that's another mistake I made. Rocks were... Yeah, they were not the greatest play. I don't know. I think I just kind of got tunnel vision into the Pidgeot, and I was like, I might as well try to get up rocks for this thing, because rocks against the flying type is always good. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I probably should have gone for Scald again. Yeah, I think that was a throw. Anyway, and yeah, the chance to get a burn is also really nice because, to be fair, Pidgeot also is pretty decent against my team. I'm not sure. I don't know. I need to think about this. Yeah, because at this point. No, I should have went for Scald. Weavile's too threatening against my team. If I got that thing into E-Speed range, that could have really helped me. But yeah, okay, anyway. Bulu comes in here. I know he's locked into the knockoff, so I'm just going to go for the Zen Hud, but the worst case scenario, he stays in, knocks off again, I'll just go for close combat or whatever. But yeah, I just go for the Zen Hud, but on the predictive viable switch, I do get the hit, and then I figured you might want to keep this thing as a sack. So I was like, and also, if he goes back into Weavile, because he knows I'm banded at this point. There's no way that like Bulu would be doing that much, right? So I figured, he's gonna think, if Weavile comes in here, that's a free switch because Zenhubud, Weavile's immune to it. And then if I stay in and Zenhubud again, he gets a free kill because. I mean, what's my switch into ice? What's my switch into triple axle? Like there is none. So I figured I have to make the play here. So I have to switch. I go into Mawile because I don't really have much else at this point. So like I was just figuring like if he goes okay, so yeah. Wait, let me explain this better. So at this point my Mawile's at like 14%. So if I double in here on the Weavile switch in, I get back up to 20% with the grassy terrain. At that range, Weavile can't kill me with Ice Shard. So I was thinking at least I can force a 50-50 with Sucker Punch. And if I get the Sucker Punch chip, then Zygarde can kill the Weavile with E-Speed. So, yeah, that was my thought process. I mean, also, like, what else is supposed to come in against the Weavile? So I was like, yeah, I need to make this double. And so I go into Mawile here. Unfortunately for me, he decides to stay in here and go for the Strength Sap. He got me, I guess. I had to switch out again because Grassy Terrain boosted Giga Drain could potentially knock out my Mawile. So I just go into Slowking here. Yeah. I think I just go for the Flamethrower. Or I go for the double. Yeah, I just go for Flamethrower. Get a crit there, which is alright. I mean, didn't matter too much, but it actually did matter in the contents of this scenario because he decides to go for the Wish and goes for he doesn't go for the Protect this turn, so I do catch him with that and I get the 1,000 arrows. Thinking about it though, I really should have Dragon Dance that turn. Because if I Dragon Dance, like I'm a lot more threatening against everything. Yeah, goddamn, I'm making throws. that should have been a time I Dragon Dance. Why wouldn't I Dragon Dance there? Yeah, that was a bad play. that was a bad play. Yeah, and not much more I can say. Because if I Dragon Dance there, Weavile, takes rocks. He can't kill me, and he can't kill me because I'm gonna kill it first with +1 extreme speed. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I haven't done the calcs against like +1000 errors or outrage against Pidgeot or whatever, but at least I had a chance of like scaring out everything. So yeah, I should have Dragon Danced again. I don't know. I mean, I did get the kill on Jirachi, which is really nice, but like I should have Dragon Danced. That was a bad play. Okay, anyway. Pidgeot comes in. I could have died to Hurricane, so I switched out there. Again, I probably should have just Dragon Danced that turn, because I'm pretty sure like the roll to kill with Hurricane was like he had to get like the highest possible roll. I'm pretty sure, so I probably should have just gone for the Dragon Dance. Hope I didn't get confused, and then smack this thing with +1000 arrows. Yeah, no, I'm just throwing this game. Goddamn. Anyway, I go to Slowking. I take 2 Hurricanes. I do get confused on the second one, but thankfully I don't get hit myself in confusion. Go for Sludge Bomb. No poison, unfortunately for me. He goes for another Roost, and I'm trying to get that confusion. I snap out very thankfully, and again, no confusion. It was really bad. I just decided to sack Mawile here because I mean, there's nothing to switch into Hurricanes right now, anyways. So Slowking comes back in. I'm really trying to get that poison. Sludge Bomb comes in. I'm not getting it at all. Thankfully, he does decide to just spam Hurricane while I spam Sludge Bomb. Unfortunately, I just didn't get the kill, but I'm able to pick up the kill here with Extreme Speed. And at this point, so here's the rub. Plus, Extreme Speed on Zygarde is not going to kill Weavile most of the time. Well, it's a roll. So a roll against bulkless Weavile is actually around 40 to 47. And so he probably has a little bit of HP investment, most likely. So I'm going to assume that the roll is not super in my favor, but it's probably around like 50-50, maybe slightly in his favor and whatnot. So if I get this kill, I can potentially just win the game right now. Because if you look at Tornadus and the rest of the Mons after Weavile's dead, Tornadus, as long as it lands Hurricanes, like I'm golden, right? And I have Outrage on Zygarde too. So Komoa can't set up on me because it's going to die. So, yeah, if I get this range, I win the game. If I don't get this range, I have to hope that this Weavile doesn't land all of his triple axles, because he has to go for triple axle this turn. Because if he doesn't go for triple axle this turn, if he goes for Ice Shark, for example, first off, E-Speed would still hit. He'd be, if he didn't die, he'd be, at whatever, 6%. Regardless, he can't live because rocks are on the field, so he has to die. And Bulu can revenge kill. So Bulu and Torn can both revenge kill. So yeah, this is I don't know. But yeah, basically the point is I need E-Speed to kill, otherwise this is gonna be pretty bad for me. Go for the Extreme Speed, and it lives on 1%. So yeah. The nice weakness policy there. But yeah, that's not good. And fortunately for him, he is getting every single triple axle hit until the game is over. So yeah, it turns out we love rolls. We love rolls. Yep. I think overall, I did make a lot of mistakes when I was playing, but I also didn't get very lucky in this game. To be fair, this is just to make up for my win against Woodsy, I guess, like a couple days ago. Because like I clicked Scald, I didn't get a Scald Burn, which whatever, it's 30%. But I clicked Sludge Bomb like 4 times on that Pidgeot. A poison at any point would have been very pivotal, and I got zipped. I got nada. So that kind of pisses me off a little bit. I mean, to be fair, it's 30% chance, but like if you use it 4 times in a row, you should be bound to get a poison, right? I don't know. That's how luck works. And then he also landed every single triple axle. Again, it's 90% accurate. It's not like whatever. It's not like it's 70% accurate, but like still landing. Well, how many hits did he get? He got. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, so he got 6 hits. He got 6 hits of triple axle without breaking a sweat. So like any time, if he literally missed any one of those, I had a shot at winning the game. I'm just saying, like, so yeah, that kind of pissed me off. But Yeah, I don't know. It's Pokemon. Again, it's like it's expected that he should win, but like there's a lot of like close to dice rolls that he kind of lost. That I no that sorry, there's like a lot of close to dice rolls that I lost. So you know, now I'm getting off as salty, but because I kind of am. But I really wanted this win. But yeah, things happen. It's Pokemon, so you're not gonna get the luck you need, um, unless you just get it. Yeah, it just kind of happens. But yeah, it was a good game. I will say. I think I made a lot of mistakes there, but yeah, if I like Dragonets at any point, I think I could have just won the game. I'm This is gonna stay with me for the rest of the. This is gonna stay with me for the rest of the season. Goddamn. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things I could have done better that game. So yeah, we're just kind of have to work on that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.